Hi, today we're going to take a look at how you write NFC chips using your mobile phone. So if you have one of the new breed of mobile phones that have come out this year with near field communication built in, which is NFC, these little wireless chips, then your device will be able to read and write to them. Now currently there's quite a few handsets that have come onto the market. The Samsung Galaxy Note 2, which we're using here, the Samsung Galaxy S3, the Nexus 7, there's the Nokia Lumia handsets, some of those have NFC built in, the Blackberries, but I'm afraid currently none of the iPhones have NFC built in. So if you're an iPhone user, I'm afraid not yet from the technology point of view. We expect NFC to come down in the iPhone 5S early next year, 2013. So first off, we've got our device here, but we need to make sure we have NFC turned on. So first of all, we go into settings, we come into more settings, and we look here for the NFC option, and we turn that on. And if you want, you can also turn S-Beam on as well. And this is a feature that is used between Samsung handsets to beam information backwards and forwards. So if you want to share a file, an image, something like that, MP3, video, you could share it with NFC simply by tapping two devices together. It will set up an ad hoc Wi-Fi network, and then you can use the NFC and the Wi-Fi to then beam files to one another. So what we're going to do here, we're going to use an application called NFC Tag Writer. Now I'm going to show you how you set this up, because there's actually some hidden options in here. If you go into Preferences and you come down to UI, switch UI mode, you've got a Professional Edition which you can upgrade to, and it doesn't cost you anything. So grab Tag Writer off the Play Store, come into the options when you first load it up, go to Preferences, switch UI mode, and your options are in there. Now doing this gives you a few more settings which are really useful. So now we've got Tag Writer opened up and we're on professional mode, we're going to create and write a tag, and we're going to create a new tag. Now in the professional mode you get a lot more options available to you that you can use for coding up your NFC tag. So things like geolocation, Bluetooth, a file URI, or a web-based URI. So in this case we're going to use a web-based URI, because we're going to make a web tag basically, so that when I scan this tag it's then going to open a web browser. So let's call this tag web, and we'll give it a web address. Now you could use the web address option, but what I've found is this actually works, whoops, symbols, this works more successfully for a wider variety of tags. So there we've popped in the HTTP and now it's just asking for an address. So let's go PracticalNFC.com. Okay, got that. Now we've got the description, we've got the address that's going to be encoded onto the tag, and we click next. And now what it's going to do, it's going to ask us what we're going to do to the tag. Are we writing multiple tags? Are we protecting this tag? And are we going to confirm if there's already data there that we don't want to overwrite? So in this case we're just going to write. Now it's now in writing mode, so we take our NFC tag, and this is the tag here. There's a little radio chip inside here. When we pass it underneath the phone is going to generate an electrical magnetic field which will allow this chip inside here to receive the data. It'll basically power it up. And then this is going to beep. There we go, done. Now if you're wondering where the NFC actually is on these devices, on this particular device it's underneath your Samsung logo here. And you'll find normally it's towards the kind of centre of the device. So popping it just there, you can just hear it kicking in. But that's where your NFC is now. So now if we scan the NFC chip, it will immediately fire the PracticalNFC website. There you go. So there you go, that is quickly and easily coding up an NFC tag to access a website. Likewise, using the URI, you could use it to target any kind of data you want that might be on the web or a local server. So you could use it to push data, pull data, whatever you kind of want. Quite easy, you could use a post or a get URL in there as well. All sorts of cool things you can do with these once you kind of look past the raw basics of the actual web address being encoded onto one of these.